Okay, guys, solid job so far in the Champions League this season. Now got the semis. Let's be honest, it's going to be us in Auckland City in the final, isn't it? So let's just get ourselves into a good frame of mind for that, clear out any cobwebs, and make sure that we're ready to beat City, which shouldn't be an issue because they haven't beat us for a long time now. For a long time, which worries me. So make sure they're not going to beat us, whenever that is.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 110 of the New Zealand Builder Nation here on Shaun Does FM with both the All Whites and with Cashmere Technical. I hope you're doing well, and come up today, going to make our way through the semi-finals of the OFC Champions League here in 2035. We take on AS Dragon across 2 legs. Could be a short episode because nothing too interesting either side of that, so if we fresh them in the first leg, might just go forward and see if we're going to be playing Auckland City in the final in tomorrow's episode. So if you're looking forward to the series coming up in today's one, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also consider hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But yesterday made our way through the quarterfinals and also an international window with the All Whites against Australia and Japan. So if you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. Since then, we've just gone forward a week off the back of the second leg of that quarterfinal, and nothing much has happened at all. Victor Ross is suspended for this game, having got a yellow card in that second leg against AS Lossie, but really no concerns going into the first leg where we do take on AS Dragon. As you can see, they're a team we must have played before in one of these knockout rounds before the final with 2 wins over these guys. We'll just go over to the data hub and check, because to be fair, not much else to do before this game that we are about to play, and it did come in the group stage back in 2032 and last year. So actually, not in the knockouts, but an 8-0 win and a 3-0 win over them. So you'd like to think this should be a nice comfy result for us here as we take them on in the semis, the team who are out of Tahiti. If we can win that, it probably will set up a tie against Auckland City in the final in tomorrow's episode, as they will take on Waniagu out of the Solomon Islands. It's red hot here for an all-New Zealand final in the Champions League this season. Hopefully we can get the job done. Not much to talk about, as I said, so we'll get straight into the action from my arena. Play the first leg against AS Dragon of this Champions League semi. And here are the team sheets for the first leg of this Champions League semi-final. One change selection-wise, Marcus Vinicius comes in for Louis Evans because he's currently sitting on a yellow card. If he gets one in this game, he'll just sit out the second leg instead of not being an option in the final. So that's the reason we're starting him. And also we've got Dossau at right back, with Debenham being a little bit tired, and we need him as an under-20 player for the National League. Dossau is actually attribute-wise a better right back. So really, just one change to our usual best 11 here for a Champions League game. An early highlight thrown here inside the final third. Clark puts that one far post there. Looking for Khaled. It comes off the post now. I think Janssen tried to get on the end of that one. They cleared it away there to Dragon in the All Blues on the front foot early, albeit right off the back of that, we are now near the halfway line, and it is the Dragons here who do have a thrown of their own, albeit they're playing this one back to the goalkeeper. I do think the usual first choice goalkeeper in De Bruyne was injured for this game, so that's something to note here with our opposition. But so far, they're actually keeping the ball quite well here from this highlight. But thankfully, good tracking back there from McGoldrick from that ball, which was a bit too deep. And we're back on the attack here. Janssen on the halfway line plays that one forward there to Khaled, who runs backwards a bit before playing it back to McGoldrick. Now we find Smith there in some space down that left-hand side. Tries to do his man on the outside and makes his way into the mix of Khaled with another header. Comes off the woodwork. Thankfully, though, Ciardiello is there to tidy up the scraps. 1-0 at the 5-minute mark here at my arena, and hopefully going to be pretty comfortable like it was in the quarterfinals of this competition yesterday. To be fair, Dragon, a bit of a stronger team. We've played them before, know a bit more about them than Lossie, but that is a good start. Couple of chances there through Khaled from headers, but thankfully that second one does result in our Ciardiello goal. Now, a couple of minutes on from the opening goal, now it's a throw for us here yet again inside the opposition half. Marcus Vinicius cuts inside, finds himself in a little bit of space, and that's a really nice finish there from the top of the circle, and that makes it 2-0 very early on here at my arena. Hopefully, we can put these guys away nice and early, and might be quite a short episode if we do that, because I won't be able to see them coming back from 5 or so nil down in the second leg, but could strike that from Vinicius into Evans for this one game to make it 2-0. And we go for another 10 minutes before the next highlight of this game, but again, we are still on the attack here with a thrown inside of the final third. This time, Carly looking for CR Diallo with a ball there far post. Unfortunately, this time, can't quite hit the target. Still 2-0 Kashmir. And the highlights continue only a couple of minutes off back of that previous chance there to our Italian left winger. Goal kick there to Dragon, thankfully, win that one in midfield, and now Dossau starts to make his way down that right-hand side. He's been given a little bit of space as well. Squares that one nicely for Janssen. That shot took a decent deflection, and they try and scramble this away to Dragon. Actually might get a chance there on the counter-attack. Thankfully, that highlight stops when Carvalho was on the ball. A few minutes later, chance there, I think that was from a Goldrick. Comes off the woodwork, then someone puts it back into the mixer. A save there from the Dragon goalkeeper. So a couple of highlights here in quick succession, and that will continue with another goal kick here at the 25-minute mark. This time Dragon can get hold of the ball. They try and do something here down the right-hand side, but to be fair, we are putting some pretty good pressure on them, but they now start to make their way forward a little bit, albeit, as I say, that Castro tracks back nicely to win that ball for us. Carlier right on the edge of the box, tries to play that in. Good interception that, though, from Tamari, and now might actually be a chance here for Dragon on the counter-attack, but good tackle. Not too sure who that was from, but the ball, it did fall to Clark. Now Ciardiello makes his way inside the box, gets brought down there. That is a clear-cut penalty, pretty similar to what happened in yesterday's episode, and it should be a chance here for Juan Carlos Castro to make it 3-0 just past the halfway point of the first half. Sends the goalkeeper there the wrong way. It was a bit of a long highlight, a couple in a row there with chances for us to make it 3-0, but eventually pretty soft penalty given away there on Ciardiello. Castro makes the most of it, 3-0 Kashmir. And we've just gone past the half-hour mark, and for the first time in this game, it is actually Dragon here who are on the attack. Thrown inside the final third, and they find here the player who committed the foul earlier. Lots of space, thankfully. That one comes off the inside of the woodwork and doesn't quite find its way into the back of the net, and we can scramble that one away. So Dragon there with their first decent chance of this game, but we're still 3-0 in front. And just make our way into the last couple of minutes of this first half. For some reason, then McGoldrick was actually behind Hawkins and did have the ball, but a highlight here late on in the first half. Marcus Vinicius has picked up a yellow card, so he's going to be suspended for the second leg of this one. That's why we're starting him in this game and not in the second leg. Evans might come on at halftime, but Castro will make it 4-0. Nice ball in there from Dossau on the back of us doing a little bit there of a counter-attack off the back of how that highlight did start with Kiwi somewhat on the attack with McGoldrick tidying things up at the back, but Castro plays that one out to Dossau there. He starts to make his way forward nicely, just gets there almost in behind the defence. Somehow actually puts that one away quite nicely into the top right corner. 4-0 at halftime already, going a long way to making yet another Champions League final here at Kashmir Tech so far. We are yet to miss out on one of those, just that very first season when we lost that final to Auckland City. And we don't want that to happen again, because that might mess things up with the Club World Cup. Of course, we've only lost the Champions League once since I've come here, but for some reason, Auckland City did go to that last Club World Cup. Now, it might be a chance here actually for Dragon to do something just before half-time, as there is another highlight, but thankfully, we tidy things up at the back there. That, I think, was through Tim Anderson. Now, Dossau starts to make his way forward. Carly there, tons of space on that right-hand side. Again, picks out Castro. Easier chance that one looked like, but unfortunately, this time misses the target. A big chance there for him to complete a hat-trick in the first half, but stats-wise, all over them actually. Could be 5-0 up based on the XG, and also that big late chance will make that one sub, as I said, with Vinicius on a yellow card. Play things safe. Louis Evans can come on for him for the second 45 minutes, but obviously 4-0 in front. Very happy with how this one's going. Hopefully a few more goals in the second half to put this one away before we have to travel away for the second leg. And just shy of the 10-minute mark here of the second half, there's a throw for us here around the halfway line, which Smith does take, and we keep hold of the ball. McGoldrick plays this forward here to Evans off of the bench. Castro, nice first time pass there out to Dossau down our right-hand side. Did look like there that Wallet, I think that is, did get his foot in there before Dossau. Did not too sure how that's been given a penalty, but it has been, and Castro this time will complete a hat-trick. That's already his 7th of this new season, which did start after the group stages of this season's Champions League, but there's Castro completing a hat-trick to make it 5-0. And we're just about to make our way into the last 15 minutes here of this game, so I think it's time for us here to ring the rest of the subs that we do have 4 left. Let's try and give these guys a bit of a rain. We'll take off their CRD yellow for Chris Greenidge. Also, McGoldrick probably could use the rest here, so Kanate can come on for him. Just looking at who else might need a rest. Sam Clark, a little bit of a deeper yellow heart, so Tristan Turner can come on for him. And also, let's give Carly the rest, being one of our usual under 20 players domestically. Tariq Nah will come on for him. Let's just see if this highlight continues. Off the back of that, it doesn't. 5-0 in the last 15 minutes. And only a few minutes on from those changes now, it's a corner here in our favour, looking far post there, and Tim Anderson gets his head on the end of that one, puts that one away nicely into the top right corner, just inside that near post from our camera angle. That makes it 6-0. Already should be going through to the final of the season's Champions League. That's only his second goal since he's come here to Kashmir Tech, but romping away with this one over AS Dragon as we make our way into the last couple of minutes of this game. Hopefully, might just be able to score one more, and it could happen here with a free kick to Lorenzo Janssen, and quite a good spot as well. Can he score his first goal of this game? Does usually pop up with goals in the latter stages of the Champions League. That hasn't been the case so far. We'll see if it happens in this one or in the second league or the final. Unfortunately, that one goes just over that top left corner, still 6-0. And now we're down the other end. Can Dragon grab a goal back here? Not that it would mean too much. They float that one far post. We kind of deal with the danger. They put a ball into the mixer. It's an own goal from Xavier Smith. That a bit of a sour end to this game. It's not going to make too much difference in the overall scheme of things, you would think. But 6-1, we should still be going through even with the second leg coming up over in Tahiti. But that ball found its way through there to, I think that name is Ravolo. I can't really tell because it's a yellow card and a bit hard to pick up on. Ruveri, I think it might have been. Rouvier, that's the name it was. But he took a shot, was going wide, but Xavier Smith did get in the way. But up until then, very good performance, and we win the first leg 6-1. Now, I can't see them turning that round over in Tahiti. What I think we might do is go forward. I'll play the second leg off camera. 7.4 XG, I've just noticed. Actually should have won that game by a bigger margin. But I'll go forward, play the second leg, and we'll just make sure that tomorrow we'll be in the final, probably against Auckland City. And indeed that will be the case. I've gone for the week off the back of that first leg and away from home here over in Papeti in Tahiti. Picked up the exact same scoreline here, 6-1. This time they scored their goal just before halftime. But goals there to Jamie Young, Tristan Turner hat-trick, to Chris Greenidge, and also a goal to Michael James Gilbert. We did put out a pretty heavy rotation for this game, apart from Louis Evans Singh as Vinicius was suspended, but these guys got the job done very nicely, and we're going for off the back of a 12-2 aggregate win. And as you'd expect, that final is going to be against Auckland City. We'll just have a look at the result from the other semi-final, 3-2 in the second leg. But first leg, they picked up a 6-1 win just like us. So they go through to the final, an all-New Zealand clash coming up in tomorrow's episode. And also did play a game in the Southern League. It was against the newly promoted Parklands United. To be fair, conceded a few goals there from aerial situations. One of our former players at AFC Auckland in Finland. But scored 5 ourselves and picked up a very comfortable 5-2 win so far. The only team in the Southern League with a perfect record, albeit still very early days indeed. But I think that will do it for today's episode. Got through the semi-finals there of the Champions League very comfortably, but tomorrow things should be a bit more difficult as we take on Auckland City in the final, especially because that one is going to be up at the Ramon Triple-A Arena. But that will do it for probably a bit of a short episode today. But to be fair, not that many interesting games in and around that. A little while to go till that final, so I'll sort that stuff out off camera before we come back for that in tomorrow's episode. But if you enjoyed today's one, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also consider hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on as well. Until tomorrow for the Champions League final, where for the first time in quite a few years it will be an all-New Zealand clash where we take on Auckland City. Thank you very much for watching, keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.